Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Trebas Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
It's day 2 of Comic-Con, where thousands of people are braving the crowds, the heat, and traffic for the massive pop culture event. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. We have coverage from throughout the convention center today to bring you a comprehensive look at Comic-Con. But first, KPBS reporter Alexander Nguyen is live on the convention floor with a look at Comic-Con through the eyes of children and first-time visitors. Alex, how's it looking?
Well, Maya, you think it's busy right now. It's going to be busier tomorrow. And of course, we think of Comic-Con as a playground for adults with all the collectibles, the cosplays, and the action figures. But at its heart, it's still a place where kids can discover the magic of comics, characters, and imagination for the first time.
Oh, giant Snorlax, yeah.
This is 5-year-old Ashton Cullen's first time at Comic-Con. He's visiting from Los Angeles with his mom, dad, and 3-year-old brother.
In the new way, I got it like a new Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Liz.
He is obsessed with Pokemon and proudly shows off his collection. Every turn brings something new to discover.
Oh yeah, giant Charmander.
His dad, Jeremy, says they visited the outdoor activations there last year. This year, they decided it was finally time to experience Comic-Con from the inside.
You know, see the atmosphere and everyone dressed up in their costumes and,
just for the cosplay. We want to see the cosplayers. We're not in the area we can spend money on it, but we think it's cool.
There are plenty of cosplayers, from Cyclops to this bad family.
Girl Robin.
Layla Bourne has been coming to Comic-Con with her parents for the past 3 years. Her parents, of course, have been coming for much longer.
This is our 8th year, I think.
Yeah.
They say Comic-Con feels different with a kid in tow. Before, it was the panels and Hall H. Now, it's about creating memories together.
One time, we came across like a Dalek robot or an R2-D2, and that just blew her mind. She loved that. And sometimes it's just roaming the hall, like running around.
As the Mandalorian knows, having a kid in tow at Comic-Con is tough, but parents say it's worth it to see the excitement on the kids' faces.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of work, with the kids. It's fun, it's rewarding, you get to watch them, like how get excited. But yeah, you're gonna do less than before.
Of course, when they get a little bit older, that's when it's really fun because you get to share that passion with them. After all, that's what Comic-Con is all about, sharing that passion and excitement with a community of like-minded fans. For now, live at the Convention Center, I'm Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News. Maya?
Thank you so much for that, Alex. And the crowds downtown make it seem like Comic-Con is immune to the economic uncertainty that's going on in the U.S. right now. Badges are sold out, hotels are full, merch is flying off of the shelves. All that as prices on everything from gas to food to airplane tickets soar. Our media partner KGTV asked a San Diego State economics professor why the convention is thriving even as Americans cut discretionary spending.
It's such a unique event. It's a really unique experience. You can't replicate it really anywhere else. Is that the people that want to attend are going to attend Comic-Con, and they're just going to cut their spending on other things. Now, that does have an impact, though, on our local San Diego economy, because in the past, people might have stayed a little bit longer, and they might have gone out to eat more.
And Comic-Con is expected to bring in more than $160 million to the local economy. $95 million of that will be spent at restaurants, hotels, and other businesses.
Well, temperatures down just a few degrees, but hey, it makes a difference. Low 70s versus upper 60s for tonight. We're going to start to see some slow improvement as far as the heat that we've been dealing with. Temperatures anywhere from 5 to more than 10 degrees above historical averages. But we are on very much a temperature roller coaster as we go through the next several weeks. I'll break down what to expect coming up.
New tariffs on goods from dozens of U.S. trade partners took effect today. Meanwhile, oil prices made a big leap this week amid re-escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Economists are raising concerns about the continued pressure on U.S. consumers. Karen Kafo reports.
The re-escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Iran sent oil prices climbing again this week. Oil supplies are dwindling too from the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, and the Black Sea, where Ukrainian attacks have disabled Russian ports.
So we are in a potentially worse situation now than we have been at any point during the crisis.
Oil prices briefly soared back above $100 a barrel on Thursday after Houthi rebels threatened a blockade in the Red Sea, compounding stress on shipments imposed by the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
It's designed to cause another energy shock, shipping and insurance shock, to spread the impact of this war, again, horizontally across the globe.
Here in the U.S., the conflict has renewed pressure at the gas pumps. Friday's nationwide average for a gallon of regular gas was up 12 cents from 1 week ago, according to AAA, to $4.10. Meanwhile, new U.S. tariffs on goods from dozens of trade partners from Europe to China to India took effect Friday. The Trump administration citing a failure by countries to address alleged use of forced labor to produce goods exported to the U.S.
Finally, we have put our foot down and we have told countries, you need to take action.
Coupled with spiking oil prices, economists continue to sound the alarm over inflation.
These are the things that markets worry about inflation around.
The new tariffs range from 10 to 12.5%. In Washington, Karen Kafo, KPBS News.
In a letter first obtained by KPBS, Congressman Mike Levin says a new policy at immigration detention centers is limiting his ability to conduct oversight. He spoke with Public Matters reporter Jake Gatta about the policy and why congressional oversight is so important.
San Diego Congressman Mike Levin and 77 other U.S. House reps sent a letter on June 11th questioning a policy by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, that he says limits congressional oversight of detention facilities. Under the policy, a member of Congress wishing to meet with detainees must provide 2 business days of advance notice and proof of a detainee's consent to the meeting. But Levin says this negates the point of unannounced visits and contradicts a court order confirming members of Congress can show up unannounced.
We have heard in the past that when ICE knows we're coming, or when CoreCivic, who runs OTI, knows we're coming, that they may try to clean things up.
And Levin says the policy prevents detainees from speaking with him or other members when they conduct unannounced visits. He says at previous visits, detainees were able to sign up to speak with him that same day.
I've spoken with people one-on-one many times, but in every instance, members of Congress were given the opportunity to speak off the cuff without any pre-planning with detainees who want to speak with us.
On June 29th, Acting Director of ICE David Venturella sent a response letter to Levin and other members of Congress defending the policy and their detention facilities. That letter said the policy had, quote, no impact on the ability of members of Congress to conduct unannounced oversight visits, and that the agency works to prevent mistreatment, address facility conditions, and ensure access to resources. This week, Rep. Levin sent a response letter further clarifying his concerns and confirming his right to meet with detainees and ensure that ICE are following the law. He said this is a crucial aspect of oversight that is even more important now than ever.
We have been able to help a number of detainees over the last number of years to figure out how to get through the process. And in many cases, folks who were wrongly detained were able to return to their families, return to their children.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security emailed KPBS a statement that said, quote, we are not stopping members of Congress from meeting with illegal aliens, including many with criminal histories, in ICE custody or touring ICE facilities. Jake Gatta, KPBS News.
Public Matters is a partnership with KPBS, iNewsSource, and Voice of San Diego. You can see more of our stories at kpbs.org/publicmatters. If you're downtown and feel like adding a little bit of whimsy in your life, stop by the Candyland Cafe in Little Italy. The pop-up cafe will satisfy your sweet tooth while bringing back cherished childhood memories. Video journalist Carolyn Corrales went to check it out.
Right now we are in Candyland Cafe.
It's just kind of fun to relive all the parts of the game. It's fun to see the different parts of the cafe and how they have it decorated.
This is one of our props right here, the great plummy gingerbread tree. We have our candy trail towards here, and then over here we have our Candyland bar. This is where we make a lot of our drinks.
I love the lemonade that we had. It comes with like a piece of cotton candy. You stick it in and you swirl it around and it changes color of the drink. So mine turned out pink.
The food was great. I had like the grilled barbecue chicken burger and it was so good. Like, they definitely did their big one with that.
We follow the trail. We do also have our gumdrops on this side.
The gumdrops. Gumdrop place.
What about the gumdrops?
I don't know. It's always just like the colors were cute.
It's
and like,
pink and fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Our lollipop tunnel. This place is mostly with props to take pictures on. And then if we go over to the outside, we have our fudge swamp.
Candyland was one of the small board games I used to play as a kid. And I still remember, aggressively yelling at my friends over it because we were competitive.
This right here is our Candyland Castle. It is the home of King Candy.
Well, I missed the Barbie one last year. When I saw that it was here and it was Candyland, obviously it's super cute, so I had to do it. And he just came with me, but
I was gonna say, admittedly, she brought me here, but I was not gonna pass up, obviously, the opportunity.
Yes, it's super girly and it's so me. It's my aesthetic.
This photo shoot section, there's a tablet that actually takes your pictures, and then you can send them to yourself afterwards. Over here, we have our merchandise section. We have various merchandise options, including shirts. We also do have a bunch of our board games, wine glasses, mugs, little bits of candy here and there, and we also do have our candy walls.
And it's themed, and it's such a nostalgic game that even I played as a kid, but more importantly, my daughters did.
I have a lot of nostalgia with this game. Like, I love playing it all the time with my sister, so I thought it would be a really fun experience.
We're here all the way to October. So you do have to buy tickets, but we also do sell the tickets here at the door.
So it's just the fun of discovery.
Yeah. For us, it kind of kicks off Comic-Con week. It's a fun way to start the week before we dive right into Comic-Con.
For many, Comic-Con isn't just about superheroes. It's also about the fan art that reimagines beloved characters. KPBS reporter Elaine Alfaro shows us a unique collaboration between two illustrators who blend Filipino culture with comic-inspired art.
This is the first time I braved the line.
And how long have you been waiting so far?
So far, I have no idea. I've just been locked in looking at this, but probably 15, 20 minutes, but I don't really mind. I expected this.
Nicole Jalandoni is one of many fans who waited in the near-constant lines on Thursday, leading to two booths on opposite sides of the convention hall. In Artists Alley, Patrick Ballesteros, and in Small Press, Genevieve Santos. But this year, the two illustrators share something in common, a vivid print that they created together called Close Open, Close Open.
If you're a Filipino kid, you have lolas, the older titas and titas, that's what they say to you when you're a baby. So that close open, your eyes. They want to see your eyes close open. They want to see your hand close open. So they say that. But also, the double meaning is the close open of the sticks.
The bamboo sticks he's referring to play a major role in the Filipino dance tinikling. They're the main subject of the print. Beloved animated characters like Baymax from Big Hero 6 dance and jump as the sticks underfoot tap out a rhythm.
Hopefully by injecting those little scenes, those little stories with other characters, it kind of opens up a conversation between the generations that grow up with those characters and among themselves. And then it just kind of goes from there into whatever they wanted to take it.
Santos sees fan art as a unique way for people to connect with characters.
I love fan art because people kind of imbue like their own personal stories with like these beloved, well-known characters and kind of give them their own, even though it's not like a fully developed story or whatever, just giving it different context is really exciting, and I think that's why people really love fan art. And so being able to see their favorite characters like Totoro or even just like an elephant playing like tinikling is it's kind of special.
Stefan Yapit bought the print for his wife at Santos's booth. Yapit is drawn to the representation of Filipino culture that he's seen grow at the convention.
Specifically for Filipinos, it's definitely worth, us here representing for our community, and it's just fun, like just seeing everyone's art, everyone's creative processes.
Ballesteros says Filipino animators have been an important part of the animation industry throughout history, but they haven't always received recognition. He feels the Filipino community and culture are having a moment right now at Comic-Con and beyond.
There's highlights in food and things like that. So people are becoming not necessarily aware of it, but more accustomed to it. They're getting used to knowing like, oh, I know what that food is. That's Filipino. I saw it in that show, or I heard about it from this friend. And I think it's like that gateway to come into the culture is like through food and through entertainment and stuff like that. But I think it's only going to get bigger.
Ballesteros and Santos say this collaboration won't be the last. Both intend to continue creating pieces that connect and celebrate their community. Elaine Alfaro, KPBS News.
At Comic-Con, the action isn't just inside the big ballroom or the halls. Some of it is happening outside on the terrace in front of a crowd, as KPBS video journalist Carlos Castillo shows us. The Society for Creative Anachronism is bringing medieval-style armored combat to life.
We are the Society for Creative Anachronism. Welcome to our fighting demo.
We are a medieval society that's based on learning about and sort of recreating the medieval lifestyle.
Oh, what a fight we are seeing today!
We do live fights with real steel armor.
I am Baron Torsten Arngiersen of the SCA of the Barony of Calafia. Society for Creative Anachronism is an organization where we recreate living history of anything from 1650 and before of the known world, known civilizations. None of it is choreographed, so it is actual combat. We're demonstrating armored fighting, right? So full armor combat with rattan sticks on those. We're also demonstrating our other two fencing style sports, which is cut and thrust and rapier.
The Mario Brothers versus Bowser at Endless Tale.
We all train, and then you have to prove that you have the capability of protecting yourself, protecting your opponent, knowing what the proper rules and the safety precautions are and how to respond to it. We're doing stuff that's a little bit wild, a little bit excessive, and opening and allowing ourselves to get hit more so than we would, but there's a lot of defensive as well as offensive strategy going to it. It is truly a martial sport. I'm not role-playing so much as I'm becoming that person. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot of skill involved with it as you go through. We encourage as accurate as possible reenactment. This is a very tiny, tiny part. This is to get a taste, to get people to come and play with us.
The Society for Creative Anachronism says they are not just about fighting. Members also learn about medieval arts, food, textiles, and blacksmithing to make period-accurate armor and clothing.
Well, we are talking about dangerous heat. We have heat alerts that I'll show you here in just a second. But as we look at really the next several weeks as a whole, We're on a little bit of a temperature roller coaster here. We do have some cooling early next week, but that's followed by another round of higher temperatures. So first, the heat alerts, everything in effect until 8 p.m. Monday. So all weekend, we are dealing with the dangerous heat, whether it's the heat advisory or an extreme heat warning. Either way, it's really telling you just about the same thing. This is not just hotter than we typically would be this time of year. It's dangerous. You need to take precautions if you're spending extended periods of time outside. And part of the problem is the low temperatures. Take a look, only getting down to 85 in Borrego Springs, pushing 70 in Mount Laguna. We're a few degrees cooler along the coast, especially Chula Vista down into the mid 60s. But I mean, this is not what we typically see on a late July evening. So that means for tomorrow, 114 in Borrego Springs. What I said about taking precautions, especially here, that is not just my advice, but very important. Heat-related illness is a big danger this weekend. 97 in Ramona, 80 in Oceanside, but then upper 70s for San Diego and Chula Vista. Now, we are watching some rain chances. Take a look. It's going to take a minute here because we are dry until we have a chance Saturday at getting some rain into our far eastern portions of the region. There it is, Saturday night. Just don't be surprised if we have a couple of sprinkles into these areas. Not a big impact, but don't want you to be caught off guard. So overall, taking a look at the next 5 days here, bouncing around a little bit along the coast, but within a few degrees as we tend to be. Further inland, we're in the 90s Saturday. We drop down to the upper 80s by the time we get to Sunday and last through Tuesday, but then see the 1 degree up by Wednesday. Yeah, there's our next round of heat starting to move in. In the mountain regions, 82 for your Saturday. We're down into the 70s for the later parts of the weekend and early next week, but then we go back to the 82 by the time we get to Wednesday. Into the desert, well, at least we just have one more day above 110 for right now, 114 on your Saturday, but then 109. We get as low as 106 by Tuesday, but we go right back up to 109 for your Wednesday. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather's Anna Azalian.
Scientists at Comic-Con are joining forces to create Mission Control. It's an immersive STEAM experience and activity room. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando checked it out.
STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And there's no better place to find the intersection of all those fields than Comic-Con.
Comic-Con is a fantastic platform to talk about these things because there are a lot of people who are in various media, pop culture fandoms, and they are so curious to learn more already. And so we could come in and talk about the real life science.
Mission Control is the first immersive STEAM experience at Comic-Con. Sam Wins is a conservation biologist and an If-Then ambassador who helped launch it.
We're really excited. We have 65 scientists and engineers here to engage people in thematic science activities. We're in the Del Mar room of the Marriott Hotel, which is in the South Tower. It's basically fun STEAM activities for all ages.
We are all part of If-Then, a group that is focused on promoting the next generation of scientists, especially promoting women in science, people of color in science, and getting a new breath of fresh air and creativity in the next group of leadership. It's the most creative expression of how to have science play with passions, which is what science is all about.
A lot of times we are caught up in our anime and shows that we love and movies that we love, but we don't realize just how much creativity goes into it. And then sometimes at Comic-Con events, we get this opportunity to explore whether or not things are unrealistic or just how realistic they can be, whether or not it's exactly just fantasy and creativity and dreams that are written and then produced, or whether or not these are real things that are written and dramatized in another way where our community, such as the Comic-Con community, is allowed to receive it in a different way, such as this platform at Comic-Con.
I would say that we are engaging people in a different way, and I think there's also the idea of when people do research on how people are learning outside of schools, they often go to like museums where people already have an existing interest in science. So being able to connect with people where they are at a Comic-Con and their interests is something that we haven't seen very much research about. Well, I'm hoping to understand how people are enjoying the room. So I do research on how people are learning in spaces that aren't schools. And so I'm really interested in when people are going to these stations, if they're connecting science to their interests. And so I'm doing a little bit of research on science identity and science learning when you're at a Comic-Con.
This table is our robotics station. People who come in to explore will get to build their own robot, and then will get to drive it out to execute their mission.
Today at Mission Control, we're focused on black holes and decoding space, a little bit of space history, space exploration, creativity, and solving some of the mysteries that we're finding.
Coming to Comic-Con is important to me because each one of us are very passionate and think that it's important to communicate science to non-scientists, and yet they deal with science every single day. And so Comic-Con is just an example of that.
We're excited to be here. We're excited to bring that collaboration between science and art and comics and more and TV and cinema. And we want you to be inspired around what's next, what else is out there, how can we think differently, and how can we bring people together to explore different ways of thinking.
With Mission Control in the STEAM engagement room, we are really hoping that people will get excited about science, technology, engineering, and math, and understand that scientists look like all of us, they look like them, right? They are welcome in that scientific space. Science is actually inherently creative and fun, just like some of their favorite popular culture items.
Visitors can search for alien life, build rovers, and earn patches through Sunday at the Mission Control Immersive STEAM Experience at Comic-Con. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
And be sure to join us tonight for KPBS News This Week, where we revisit the most impactful and intriguing original reporting of the week. This Week airs every Friday at 8:30 here on KPBS. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Have a great evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.